Yeah, have a bite.
47-year-old Queenslander Turbo is his own boss.
But I like to get in, get the job done, get going and do what I've got to do.
He drives his rig his way.
There's only two speeds with me, flat out or dead stop.
Look at that. Single bird's hitting on a post.
Idiot!
I transport anything and everything. Oversized loads, machinery, trucks, planes, helicopters. I cover the whole field.
The long-haul specialist has clocked up more than 30 years behind the wheel.
I've spent too long building my reputation and my business to ever miss a deadline or to ever miss a delivery.
Oh, that hurt.
But for the last 2 months, a back injury has meant he's barely been able to manage a fraction of that.
Having to stop probably every 2-3 hours. I've got to get out and I've got to walk around for 10 minutes. Then I've got to keep having my medication, my painkillers and anti-inflammatories for it.
Turbo's still recovering from hospital treatment to deal with the problem. For 6 long weeks, he's been at home recuperating.
It has been a while since I've been out on a good trip now, since I've been in hospital.
And with his wheels not turning, money's getting tight.
Well, they were up on paying anyway.
Yeah, you weren't going to unload unless they paid.
The run to Darwin will bring in vital business, but it won't come cheap.
You know, at $4.5 grand in fuel to get up there, and then $4.5 grand to come home, so there's $9,000 in fuel in a round trip in a week.
Turbo's a one-man, one-truck firm. Making money means keeping moving. With 4,000 kilometres ahead, one piece of bad luck could mean disaster for Turbo and his business.
If we get a delay that's going to hold us up 12, 14 hours, mate, we're absolutely...
Oh, me back. That hurts.
After weeks off the road, it's a vital run for his business. He's got more kilometres ahead of him in one night than he's driven in weeks, hauling 2 trailers of machinery to a client in Darwin.
It's going to be a long night.
Standing in his way is the 664-metre high Toowoomba Range.
As of now, we're actually on the bottom of the range.
Turbo's truck can pull up to 140 tonnes, but with just 34 on board, it's struggling.
We should be doing a lot better than this. That's now starting to become a little bit of a concern. It's dropped oil pressure. It's actually putting temperature right up over where I want it to be.
High temperature and low oil pressure could do serious damage to Turbo's engine.
End up bloody damaging camshafts, can end up, God knows what damage you're going to do inside.
On such a crucial job, that's damage he can't afford.
I have a breakdown going up here, mate. It'll shut half the range down, mate, and just get a bloody tow truck and pull it up. And I don't want to do that. You don't want to have a breakdown going up here. We're over the halfway point now.
Darwin is still more than 3,000 kilometres away.
Let's just pick it up now.
It's a worrying start to his run. But as night falls, engine trouble isn't Turbo's only problem.
My back is already starting to twinge and ache on me now, which is not good. I'm going to have to deal with pain and agony of driving and the throbbing and the numbness going through the leg.
If he's to make his delivery in time, Turbo needs to push on. He's heading into one of the most remote sections of his run, a 300-kilometre stretch of near-empty Outback highway. Turbo's alone in the dead of night. It's not a place you want to break down. But up ahead, there's a worrying sight.
Drop something. Pull up, find out, if everyone's all right or what's going on, see if you can be assistance. There's no driver around.
The truck looks abandoned, 100 kilometres from the nearest town.
That's not bloody good at all.
But from what I can see, he's bloody sheared an axle. 50 tonne of bloody machine. Could have come along, found him laying on his side somewhere. Might just go for a quick wander, see if he's up there, see if there's something we can do.
It's time Turbo can't spare, but out here, truckers rely on each other.
You break down and you are totally isolated. You don't have a mobile phone that you can pick up and go, I need help. Nothing like a nice walk in the middle of the night down the middle of nowhere.
Who knows where the driver is, eh? He's just got to live somewhere, who knows?
There's nothing more Turbo can do. He needs to get back on the road.
Hope he's all right. Hope he is all right. He got somewhere, so hopefully he should have help coming out soon. All right. Well, might as well keep going myself. I have never ever missed a delivery, ever. And I'm not about to start to.
He's racing to complete a job for a new client, deliver on time, and he could score regular work to help get his business back on track. But it's just not Turbo's day.
Who the hell puts traffic lights in the middle of football?
Roadworks, the thing Turbo loves to hate.
After being so far behind last night, now I'm going to get held up here. Is it my turn yet? Thank you. Classic work. They all stand around and just talk. Not actually working, they're just standing there talking. Honestly, I reckon they got their brains out of the cornflake box. Stop, start, stop, start. And stop. Again. Come on. This is delays that I don't want. Oh, hallelujah. 4 lots of roadworks in a matter of bloody 10 kilometres. That's usually when I get a little bit peeved off. Delay after delay.
After an hour and a half of crawling between stop signs,
I'm that far behind time, it's not funny now.
every delay puts Turbo further behind his vital deadline.
Where's the end of all this bloody roadworks?
Turbo still has 3,000 kilometres to go on his vital cross-country run. He must be in Darwin in 4 days. To make it in time, he needs to pull out all the stops. But from nowhere,
Something's not right. Something's not right at all.
Turbo's engine trouble is back.
Engine temperature's actually running up pretty high. The oil pressure's actually dropped down below 300.
It's the same problem he's had before, but a whole lot worse.
If it completely drops oil pressure, it's game over. Yeah, I'm bloody worried because it drops oil pressure. It means there's no oil actually injecting to lubricate the pistons, which then will actually seize the engine. So there's about $45,000 to get a new engine done.
Turbo's already under massive financial pressure. A blown engine could break his business.
Have to get up here and pull up and have a look at it. That's not good. Oil coming out of the filter.
The engine's losing oil. This won't be an easy fix.
You've got to drain all the oil out of it, you've got to pull the sump off it, you've got to clean it all. And that's not a 5-minute job.
Turbo can't make repairs here. He'll have to risk driving to the next town, a day and a half away.
1,700 kilometres and there's nothing. There is nothing at all.
If the problem gets any worse, it could cost Turbo big time.
If I've got to make a phone call and get someone to come out, no profit. No profit at all.
He still has 4 more days of hard trucking to go, with a precious job on the line. After weeks of frustration, waiting to get back in the cab, it's the last straw.
Thanks! Jesus. I don't need these right now. Things are sent to try me.
But Turbo's truck isn't the only thing playing up.
All that bouncing around last night didn't really help at all. That hurt.
After weeks off work, his business badly needs the cash from this job. He must make it to Darwin in one piece and on time. 2,500 kilometres from his destination,
I'm bloody off balance today. I don't know why.
Turbo's ready to hit the road. What he needs is a good run into Darwin,
What's going on?
but his truck has other plans.
It's not good. We've got a little problem. She's completely blowing the bloody fuse in the circuit, so I've got to get into the fuse box.
Fixing an electrical problem means yet more delays.
Why has this happened to me? Just when I thought the day was going to be a good day.
He's already behind schedule.
Not this today.
Taking his cab to pieces is the last thing Turbo needs. Luckily, it's just a blown fuse. A $2 replacement should do the job. Only problem, finding one.
The amount of bloody crap I carry in here, right?
With no replacement to hand, the fix is textbook Turbo,
One hot wire.
stripping down a piece of wire.
We have power.
Turbo needs to make up lost time. But as darkness falls, something in his wing mirror catches his attention.
Have a look in the mirror.
There's sparks flying from the back of the truck.
Whatever it is, it ain't good.
Turbo needs to pull over as fast as possible. Where there's sparks, there could be fire. At the rear of Turbo's 40-metre road train lies the culprit.
Chains.
A chain that's supposed to be holding a 28-tonne excavator.
Completely come undone.
If he hadn't caught the problem in time, the load could have become dangerously unstable.
Just goes to show how rough these roads are. That train was super bloody tight, and now here it is, sending sparks everywhere. It's one of them things you don't bloody see until after it happens.
Next morning, Turbo's on the road early. He wants to check in with wife Jo in Brisbane.
There. No, well, that's... I've got an overheat engine shut down.
Turbo's engine troubles are back. He's 200 kilometres from the nearest town, in the midst of the Outback.
All I'm gonna bloody need.
It's a dangerous place to have a problem.
I don't know. So I bloody open that bonnet and I have a look at it.
If the trouble is serious, Turbo's trip could be over right here. Under the hood, there's no sign of a problem. Turbo thinks an air pocket in the truck's cooling system might be the culprit.
The header tank's full of water. What I'm actually starting to think is maybe I've got an airlock in there somewhere.
He hopes that opening a release valve on the red-hot engine will clear the blockage.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's hot. Oh.
Scalding water has hit Turbo in the eye.
Can you imagine getting your kettle and sticking your hand in it and just flicking it over your face? That's what it's like. Right on the point of the actual eyeball itself.
If getting burnt wasn't enough, the engine problem is still a mystery.
I don't know why it overheated. I've got no water leaks. I've got plenty of coolant. I have no idea.
But with every minute lost, Turbo's falling further behind time. If he's to make Darwin on schedule, he must get back on the road. One more problem and it could be game over for his engine and his business. Turbo's pushing hard into the night. It's a dangerous time to be on the road.
Let's watch these roos here, mate.
Out here, night time is feeding time, especially for kangaroos.
They are a menace. They do a lot of damage. That's why we do run big, solid bull bars.
At up to 90 kilos, an adult roo can punch a serious hole in even the toughest truck. Turbo must stay focused on the road ahead. There's no knowing where or when trouble will strike.
Roos. Straight under the trailer. Done some damage, I can tell you that now.
I'm lucky. Broken mud flap. $30 to fix.
But the roo's done more damage than just the mud flap.
Rip the slack adjuster out and pull the brakes apart. Oh, that's how much damage these roos do, eh? Oh, that brake is not going to work now.
Turbo's lost one of his brakes. Replacement parts are 400 kilometres away.
All I can do is just laugh. That's all I can do. Because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry.
Turbo's concern now is if the damaged booster breaks off altogether.
If that brake booster actually completely breaks off all the way and starts dragging on the ground, I'm going to have a sudden loss of air, which is then going to lock up the trailer and the truck because I've got no air to keep the brakes released.
He must nurse his wounded truck into Darwin. What he doesn't need now is to slam on his brakes in a hurry.
Oh, come on! Cattle! After locking the thing to a dead stop.
The truck survived the near miss. After a colossal 3,500 kilometres, the end is in sight.
Almost there. 80 clicks south of Darwin.
Turbo can check in with his client and bring the load home.
Yeah, just let him know Turbo, P&J Transport, the excavators. You probably see me coming around the corner now.
Yeah, I do.
All right, mate, I start setting this, getting it ready.
The customer is the one who puts the bread and butter on your table every night. My customers will always come first.
For this one-man trucking empire,
I don't want to climb up there, not with my back.
it's a painful step towards global domination.
I want to become one of the biggest companies in the country. I'd like to be a global player. And I would like to be able to supply a transport service through road, air and sea.